I wanted to talk a little bit today about releasing tension, letting things go. And there's a little story that I want to tell about the reason why I wanted to do this particular video. Hi, it's Chris Burnett from Green Dragon. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about releasing, about letting things go, and tension-wise as well as mental-wise. And the reason I wanted to do this video is because I was in a class, I was teaching a class at an assisted living facility, and there was a group of ladies, and before the class, one lady was asking a lot of questions, but then she started talking about masks and things like that, people wearing masks, and she was kind of complaining. And during that time, one of the other ladies looked at her and said, "Would you please be quiet and let him start the class?" So once she said that, the lady looked back at her with such an evil look. And I mean, but the lady who said it just looked away and was ready to start class. So that moment had passed for her, but the other lady was still living in it. So as we were doing our Qigong and, we're talking about bringing the energy up, so have them to inhale and rotate really open and then exhale, relax. As we're going through these exercises, I could see the one lady who had an attitude that the other lady dared to speak to her and tell her to be quiet, right? She kept looking at the other lady. She kept looking at her. And not only was her glare intense, but her shoulders were tight and she could not relax. She could not let go. So as we continued throughout the class, we're doing different exercises. I started to focus my energy on her. And I would say, inhale. And as you exhale, I would say, let it go, release, let it go. So I was giving her mental and subliminal suggestions to not only let go of the tension she was holding in her body, but to let go of that situation that had already passed, to let go of any anger, let go of whatever emotions she might be feeling that's still keeping her trapped in that moment. So she did kind of loosen up as the class went on, but in my mind, I noticed that as she held on to these thoughts of what this woman dared to say to her, she also held on to all this tension in her body. So then it clicked in my brain, and I thought I would save that thought for later. Is it true that people who have a hard time letting things go, people that hold grudges, people who have other emotions like maybe resentment or even to the extreme hatred, things like that, do they have problems letting go of things physically? And so that's something that I wanted to observe. And as I watched the lady in the next class after, she was more relaxed. So she didn't have that interaction between the same woman who caused her to tense up. So she was very relaxed in the next class. So all the classes that I teach in that facility, every last person comes out, they compliment me on how much better they feel, how their joints feel open, how they feel more relieved, they let go of their stress, things like that. And so I know for a fact that this lady can release, but in that time she was stuck, and she was stuck mentally and physically. So that's going to be my experiment. I'm going to try to observe different types of people and see if the people who hold on to grudges, the people who have hard time letting things go emotionally and mentally, also have a hard time letting go physically, releasing tension through the body, letting things just relax, be open and flowing. So that's my talk for today. Use it for yourself. Look and pay attention to the people who you interact with and the different personality types, and see if there are people that you know who hold grudges, which there probably are. Pay attention to their shoulders, pay attention to their body, listen to them talk about the stiffness or aches and pains in their body. See if they have a hard time letting go physically as well. And then if that person is you, think about it and think about what you can do to release that. So they say the bridge between mind and body is the breath. So using the breath to kind of let go, and also learning to deal with and accept the things that hold us back and move forward. So we don't want to be stuck in the past, right? We want to move forward. We want to be in the present, and we want to look forward to the future, but without being anxious about the future. Hey, thanks for listening. Chris Burnett from Green Dragon.